Hello everybody, this is Adam Kidd and I am the FX Kid, and what I want to do first is thank everybody for the 60 subscribers that are following the channel. Thank you very much. I want to thank some folks in the Blender group on Facebook. I know it's a nice tight-knit community, so a nice shout out to you guys, and a thank you to Bart over at Blender Nation for putting the good word out about the tutorials that we've had so far. I know I made a promise 100 subscribers and we would release the rig. Well, we've been kind of hanging around 60 subscribers, and frankly I think people are getting a little antsy, so I'm not going to release a finished one. Reason being, I'm not finished. I went back in and it's constantly upgrading, but we can definitely release a version, which is a nice version too, if I do say so myself. There are still some things that need to be worked on in this. Mostly it's just about moving around the actual meshes, so that way they're not so clumsy looking. But let's do a little tour of the rig. So as you see at the very beginning, our rig is very messy looking. There's a lot of stuff all over the place. And what this is going to do is basically give us custom controls over things. So let's take a look at the face, for example. If we want to be able to control his blink, we got a little teardrop up here, and he now blinks. What I have not done is add in a couple of other eye features, so eye halfway down, or the angry wrinkled eyelids. That will be in the next version. Again, this is still a work in progress, but it's a proof of concept regardless. If you want to move just a single pupil, there you go. Crossed eyes. Alright. And if you want to move both the pupils, there you go. Now, the default set has them kind of centered, so, you know, if you want to look all the way to the right, sometimes you just gotta use a little finesse. That's okay. It's not like a huge world changer. If you want to move the whole eye set, it's right here. Now you're going to ask right now, why do I have to move the whole eye set? Well, the reason behind that is this is the only eye set we have at the present time. If he moves to a left view, let's see here. His head is controlled by this little servo right here. So what that will do is that will turn off the one eye, turn on the other eye, and you put it in place right there. I'm not very happy with that because I want more. I don't want to have to waste the time of moving that over. That seems like a real time waster. So I got some other things in place. Now I could do some sort of a pose for that, but I find that there could be some concerns over customization. This needs to be very customizable. So your mouth obviously moves around a little bit, and the reason behind that is the old animation. They actually replaced the mouth, and they had to put little deviations to where it lays. So there you go. Eyebrow slider. All right, and that's going to change up too. I'm going to try some more customization with that. Head roll, of course, and again with the hat. Left view, rear view, right view, and again it involves moving the nose or the eyes and the mouth. The next version will definitely change that, but again, proof of concept. The textures are all custom. They're actually like a construction paper texture, which I had to create in GIMP. Yes, I had to leave my comfort zone and go out of the software, but I think it was kind of worth it because it kind of added to the effect of the character. So now the new problem is this. These bones are all over the place, and half of the time I may not need to use these. What if I'm blocking out a scene that doesn't require this stuff? All I need to do is move the head. I want to be able to see stuff proper. Well, take your little hat, slide it up, everything disappears but the head roll. And let's say you want to get rid of that too. Well, just move it up a little bit more, and there that goes. Body controls. We have bones that are going to control the arms, and this is going to be mostly handy during side view, because you see that does not look right. And you want to be able to grab this and put it wherever you would like. There's still some things, again, that need working on. Time will tell on this one here. But once this is done, this will be able to apply to a lot of different techniques. I put in some little controllers here to change the hand type. Now, some do not actually work with the bone, and that's on purpose. So take a look here. We got this little L. I'm going to get a little bit closer. L with a little elbow. Right with a little elbow. And hands. So these are going to control the variants here. So you'll see, oh, that's the left hand side. Sorry about that. So I did not realize I parented those to the bone. There's a couple here that should not move with the bone, but I did that anyway. Next version will remove that. And the reason behind that is some of these little arm poses are really just meant to be at the side. So they're the things that fake it, make it look like there's a hand there. Okay? And we can rotate that. Look, it looks like he's got a little hand. All right, and the nice thing is we have this little arm crease that we created right here. And depending on what arm you have out, that will disappear. Let's look at the hands. You'll notice we have one hand type there, but with a little help, we can actually change to a couple of different hand types. So again, more will come out, but I'm just working off the shapes that I have, and I might play around with moving the orientation of those hands so by default they're pointing in a particular direction. But for free, hey, it's not bad. So body is controlled with this little handle right here. All right, way cool. And again, you got all this stuff here. What if we don't want to see that? Well, click on the little t-shirt. Boop. Okay, there you go. There's arms. And there's certain controls that I made it so they stay longer. And that's because sometimes you do want to be able to just switch hands but without having to see everything in the world. All right. A little bit higher. And that is officially gone. Well, hidden. So the next question is, how did we do that? Well, remember my last tutorial, we talked about mouths and how we were able to take a bone and control the direction, which, by the way, that's right up here. And he's got a little name. Okay. These things change the exact same way with these controls here. So instead of putting in a modifier to make the bones disappear, what I simply did was I selected the bones themselves and added a driver to hide them. All right, and so that's all there is to that. If anybody doesn't quite get how the drivers and the hiding the visibilities works at this point in time, I'm more than happy to indulge that. I can create another tutorial for that. There are a couple of elements here and there that are actually, the driver is actually controlled in the outliner. So there are some items that do disappear by a driver that's in there. And just remember, whatever you do for visibility, you have to do for render. I highly recommend you do the render first, make sure it works, and then apply it to the real-time visibility. And that way, if you make a mistake, you just have to fix it. I mean, it's a lot easier to fix a render problem than it is to fix a real-time problem, because it keeps disappearing. So anyway, that is the first rig. First rig is going to be Kyle, and what I'll do is I'll put another character in for the next rig. But the good news is it really just takes changing the hat and changing the color of the outfit and obviously some of the decals here, and you have a different character. I'll go into that another time. Probably the next version is going to be a lot easier to customize. This one you can customize, but it can take up to 20 minutes sometimes, and frankly, if you got to make 10, 15 characters, that's maybe not ideal. So, thank you again to the 60 people who are following me right now. I hope more follow after you see this, and we'll put out, again, a new version that will make every thing in this one buggy. This is a beta, so obviously, drop your comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If anyone has, the time and the effort to, model little pieces that we can use. Hair and hats. We need 3 views: front view, side view, and rear view. Preferably facing the left for the left view or the side view, because it's easy to flip for the right view. But if everything stays standardized, there you go. Oh, standardized, speaking of which. So everything is put in a particular order so that by default it starts with right facing, forward facing, left facing, rear. All right, and if you do that way, things stay a lot more organized. So left view, front view, side view, rear view. And we'll talk to you later. So I want to thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.